Hello everyone, welcome to Competitive Academia. So let's start our Indian Polity MCQ session, and today is day 2. So let's begin with the first question of the day. The members of the Constituent Assembly which drafted the Constitution of India were, you can pause the video and take the correct answer. The correct answer here is option D. The Constituent Assembly consisted of 389 members, out of which 296 were from the British India and 93 members from the princely states. Out of this 296 members, 11 were from the Governor's province and 4 from Chief Commissioner's province. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following statements are true? Fundamental rights are absolute in nature. Some of the rights are available to all and some are not available to all. Here is a mistake which you can correct it. They are not sacrosanct or permanent in nature. The correct answer here is option C, that is 2 and 3. Fundamental rights are not absolute in nature, rather they are qualified. That means restrictions can be imposed upon the fundamental rights depending upon the exigencies of time. This 21-day lockdown is an example in this regard. In this situation, we cannot claim that our freedom to movement is being infringed because it is for the larger good of the society. Moving on to the next question. Who has described directive features to be a novel features of the Constitution? The correct answer here is option A, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and he was also the chairman of the drafting committee. The next question is, which of the following writ is issued by court to public officials to perform its duty? The correct answer here is option A, mandamus. Now, mandamus can be issued against public bodies, corporation, inferior courts, tribunals, etc. There are 5 writs available under Article 32, that is right to constitutional remedies. They are habeas corpus, mandamus, quo warranto, certiorari and prohibition. Moving on to the next question. The fundamental duties were recommended by which of the following committees? The correct answer here is option C, Swaran Singh Committee. The fundamental duties were added in the year 1976 by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment, adding Part 4A to the Constitution. Balwant Rai Mehta Committee is related to Panchayati Raj, Tarkunde Committee is related to electoral reforms, and Verma Committee, although it is related to fundamental duties, but it did not recommend that we should have a list of duties. Rather, there were certain other additional points to the list. The prevention of insult to national flag and anthem is one of the recommendations of Verma Committee. And through 86th Constitutional Amendment Act, one more duty was added to the list, that is the duty of parents to send their wards to school. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following are features of parliamentary system? Here the correct answer is option B, that is 1, 2 and 3. Nominal and real head, that is de jure and de facto head, collective responsibility and political homogeneity. Single membership is not the feature of parliamentary system because in India we have double membership. The executive are members of one of the house. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following are unitary features of the Constitution? The correct answer here is option D. That is strong center, single constitution, flexibility of constitution and emergency provisions. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following is both preventive and curative? Mandamus, habeas corpus, certiorari or quo warranto? The correct answer here is option C, that is certiorari. Now, certiorari means to be certified. Higher court can order the lower courts to transfer a case pending before them if there is an error of law or lack of jurisdiction of lower court. Moving on to the next question. Granville Ostade has described which of the following as the conscience of the Constitution? The correct answer here is option A, that is fundamental rights and DPSP. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following statements are true about the preamble? The correct answer here is option A. It aids in the interpretation of the Constitution. It is not enforceable itself by the law, and it does indicate the source from which the Constitution derived its authority, and it has been amended, and socialist, secular, and integrity was added by 42nd Constitutional Amendment. Moving on to the next question. The Indian federal system is based on which of the following models? The correct answer here is option D. The next question is, which of the following is not a federal feature of the Constitution? Here the correct answer is option D, that is strong center. Strong center is a unitary feature of the Indian Constitution. And dual polity means that the residents are citizens of the nation and state at the same time. This is practiced in USA. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following can be amended by simple majority of the parliament? The correct answer here is option C, that is 3 and 4. Abolition and creation of legislative councils and citizenship acquisition and termination. See, the directive principle of state policy can be amended by a special majority of the parliament, and election of president can be amended by special majority of the parliament plus ratification of the states. Moving on to the next question. You have to match the following list with their items. You have to match the following list with the items. The correct answer here is option B. The name of states and territories are contained in the first schedule. The languages are contained in the 8th schedule. Administration and control of Assam, Tripura, Meghalaya and Mizoram are contained in the 6th schedule, and anti-defection is contained in the 10th schedule. The next question is, the voting age was reduced from 21 to 18 years in the year 1989 by which of the following amendments? Here the correct answer is option C, that is 61st Constitutional Amendment. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following is known as Magna Carta of India? The correct answer here is option B, that is fundamental rights. Fundamental rights are contained in Part 3 of the Indian Constitution. The next question is, abolition of untouchability comes under which of the following rights? Here the correct answer is option C, that is right to equality, which are contained from Article 14 to 18. Moving on to the next question. The DPSP, which is contained in Part 4 of the Indian Constitution, has been originally borrowed from which constitution? Here the correct answer is option C, that is Spanish. Although we have borrowed it from the Irish Constitution, but it has originally been borrowed from the Spanish Constitution. Sikkim was given statehood by which of the following amendments? Here the correct answer is option C, that is 36th Constitutional Amendment. Sikkim was made an associate state of India by 35th Constitutional Amendment, and the right to property was deleted by 44th Constitutional Amendment. The 42nd Constitutional Amendment, which is also known as Mini Constitution, consisted of a whole host of amendments ranging from DPSPs to fundamental duties, fundamental rights, preamble, etc. Moving on to the next question. Who among the following were not the members of Fazl Ali Commission? The correct answer here is option C, S.K. Dhar. There were 3 commissions formed for identifying the linguistic provinces. They were Fazl Ali Commission, S.K. Dhar Commission and JVP Committee, also known as Jawaharlal Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel and Pattabhai Sitaramaiah Committee. The next question is, which of the following commission was not made for identifying the linguistic province? The correct answer here is option C, Sarkaria Commission. Sarkaria Commission was formed to improve the center-state relations. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following were added to DPSP by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment? The correct answer here is option A, 1 and 2. The rest two were already there in the original DPSP. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following constitutional amendment included elementary education to be a fundamental right? The correct answer here is option A. Moving on to the next question. The electoral college of the president consists of which of the following? The correct answer here is option C, that is 1, 2 and 3, elected MPs, elected MLAs and elected members of Delhi and Puducherry. Nominated members of parliament, although they are not part of the electoral college, but they are part of the removal process of the president. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following are functions of the president? The correct answer here is option D. Appointing the Lok Sabha speaker is not the function of the president. The speaker is appointed from the party having majority, and he is appointed by the members of the parliament. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following veto is not practiced in India? The correct answer here is option C, that is qualified veto. The next question is, which of the following is not the qualification of a president? Here the correct answer is option B. The president has to be qualified as a Lok Sabha member and the vice president should be from the Rajya Sabha. Moving on to the next question. What does commutation mean? Here the correct answer is option B. Substitute the punishment with a lighter form. To put a stay on the decision or orders of the judiciary comes under reprieve. To completely absolve the decision of the court comes under pardon, and to reduce the period of punishment comes under remission. The next question is, ordinance making power of the president comes under which of the following article? Here the correct answer is option B. The governor also has ordinance making power, which comes under Article 213. Moving on to the next question. Who among the following can act as the president in the absence of president and vice president? Here the correct answer is option B, that is Chief Justice of India. And in the absence of Chief Justice of India, the senior most Supreme Court judge can act as the president or the vice president. Moving on to the last question of the day. Lok Sabha can express no confidence by which of the following? Here the correct answer is option C. That is adjournment and censure motion, rejecting a money bill and bypassing a cut motion. That's all for today. We'll come up with some new questions tomorrow. Till then, thank you for listening patiently and stay safe.